4, and just as we joined there was some mayhem. 2 cars spun there and the third car narrowly avoiding them. Right at time to join. Of course, as always, joining me in the comms box, Mr. Not Fernando.
Good evening, everybody. How's it going, Jan?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Great stuff. We're in Paul Ricard. 15 minutes remaining in qualifying. It's mostly the F1 track we know, except there's no chicane on that what's now a very, very long straight.
Yeah, true that. It's just one massive long back straight, no chicane. But otherwise it's pretty much the F1 track. Oh, and there's Split Piece also joining. Hello Split Piece, aka Boinkies.
Just get my YouTube going.
Of course, update coming out tonight. Played around a little bit. Some of you will see a bit of a different view for those, of course, who've been watching the stream so far up to tonight. Of course, tonight you can see slightly different. No more free practice or qualifying or whatever in the right hand side. And you also don't have it predominantly big Assetto Corsa logo at the top left screen. So it's a lot smaller at the back, so the screen is a little bit bigger so you can see more of the car. It's cropped, it moved up the timings a little bit, and now as you can see there's also a track map, and the red dot is basically representing the car we drive with, so you can see where they're on track compared to the others. So moving in the right direction, and one of the reasons also why we started streaming a little bit late, just as we're about to start, we tried to see if we can move over to qualifying without getting stuck. Unfortunately, no luck. But driving on board with the car, there were some fantastic camera angles, side view, rear view, on board in the cockpit. It's just, unfortunately, still not able to jump from one car to the other car without getting stuck. So, some work in motion. Oh wow, Ronald says he's currently waiting for 8 PM delayed load shedding. Well, let's hope it doesn't go off.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't go off. Hope the lights stay on. And you can keep on watching or have your phone charged.
Yeah.
If the cell phone towers still work.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. If the cell phone towers still work. When I get load shedding, I also lose all cell phone signal.
Best thing you can have is a fiber router on a backup battery and keep your phone connected to that. That's the only way you have a constant flow of signal for the data usage.
Currently out there, the results for what's that? Wesley Foster. That is he's fastest. He's currently sitting in a pits, and then
I almost heard something else.
You heard the middle, but the Foss.
I went Foss who?
Yeah, no, that's I just saw the Foss there in the middle, and I was like, eh?
I sounded Foss who?
Yeah, so
oh, Judge is struggling with a setup there. Saw him running white a little moment ago.
6 tenths ahead of Nick Dion, which was the winner in the previous round at Silverstone. And then not Sebastian.
Nickelodeon, some people call him.
Sebastian not getting much practice in this time round.
Only got back yesterday after missing last week as well. He would have missed tonight, all for the sake of work, but managed to get back and yeah, still jumping on it, so not bad. Some of these guys have a lot of laps on over him, so still good, still in the, you know, it's only a second, but still early moments, so surely he can gain some more time during the session.
Gavin currently fourth. He's really enjoyed that Bentley as the season has gone on. So he didn't start the season in a Bentley.
And there goes Devon. Devon talk about that Nick Leon. He says it's not what he heard you say. He heard you say Nickelodeon.
Devon must go back to sleep.
And have some tap water coffee.
I think that's what happened to his mic on the podcast. It sounded like there was a tap running behind him. Leave the kitchen, guy.
Yeah, go find a different spot. Stay away from the coffee pot while you're commentating or you're part of a chat. What? Which is for Force? Force who or what? What are you talking about, David?
Let's see that name in the lobby.
Oh well, okay, Tep's also MIA tonight. That's another driver, of course. D-Man is MIA. Couple of guys, it must be said, is MIA, and it's because of ESCOM.
And it's also a combination of, you know, you've got the ESCOM, and then I wouldn't be surprised if one or two guys just
gave up.
Couldn't get the update in time.
That's the other thing, that's also, you're right.
The update really came out at a weird time, and if you don't have the highest download speed, I mean, even when I had LTE, sometimes games would just take forever. Sometimes it was quick,
and
sometimes it just wasn't there.
And it was a 2 gig update, and for some internet connections that's a tough one to handle, because speeds that you manage, and of course if you're running wireless and so forth with load shedding today, signal and stuff is bad. So yeah, some of the guys might have been caught out with that update as well. Like you say, very weird time. This afternoon at 3 PM it was still not live, and then all of a sudden this evening it's live.
Came out very, very late in the day. So I think that means everyone in here's got a relatively fast internet connection.
Or not affected by ESCOM.
Or are not affected by ESCOM.
Yeah, Devin, coffee is brilliant. It's brilliant without tap water. If you have proper boiling water from a kettle, it's brilliant.
The judge, I missed that, but judge saying he's struggling with the setup.
Yes.
He's not coming to terms with the Paul Ricard circuit. You know what's my favorite thing about the Paul Ricard circuit? You're not going to find a track that's more forgiving than this.
Devin, UTC helps me nothing.
What rubbish is Devin talking?
Yeah, he says the patch went live at 1500 UTC. Oh well, this afternoon it still tuned me new.
I'm pretty sure he's drinking cannabis-infused coffee.
Yeah, no, he's using some very strong stuff.
But nothing wrong with that, it is legal in South Africa. But,
Mr. Judge, where's Mrs. Judge tonight?
Probably ran away.
One of my favorite viewers.
So, where is Mr. Wazzy?
Yeah,
is Mr. Wazzy watching? Top something there, let us know you, yeah?
Wazzy.
See, there's 11 people watching, and Devin is the only one talking.
Well, that's Devin for you. Devin like to hijack something.
Spectator mode, asking about how is spectator mode. If you were here at the beginning of the stream, you would have known how spectator mode.
I explained it.
Looks a lot better. Obviously, if you look at your screen, we've got a little track map on the bottom right. The names don't take up quite as much space on the screen, and then obviously that top menu, it's compressed everything. It's compressed the ACC logo, and
yes,
it's also taken away that irritating. They're in the middle of the screen. Practice 1, practice 2, qualifying race. Took up quite a portion. See, Judge must be in game chat. His name just constantly popping up on my screen. Forgot to go back to party chat.
Yeah, no. Judgy, please go back to party chat. Oh, there he is.
Oh, wow, that means he's
I'm here, gents, watching on PS Limited Chat tonight. Hello, Wazzy.
There we go with his TNB logo. Yeah, I need to send him the new TNB logo. He needs to.
Yes, you're right. You need to update.
That's a bit aged. That's like
just like
season
Wazzy.
2, season 3. Aged. That's we've got some new stuff. Gotta send you some new stuff.
But it aged well, at least.
Oh yeah, no, that's the vet says it's based on a Lucky Strike logo, but I say it's based on a Superbox logo.
Yeah, it still looks nice. And maybe that's why Wazzy still have it. He likes it more than the new one. Or just trying to prove a point. like with WhatsApp versus Discord. Never see. Could have a time eventually, but 2.4 seconds off the pace. Close in front, but from there it's pretty much a second or more down. Chad's really struggling with that Porsche tonight. He's complaining about the setup, as you said, about 6.2 seconds off the pace.
We're going to see these times compress. Should be now, because there's 5 minutes remaining in qualifying, so the guys will probably go on their final run, strip the cars of any non-essential fuel and just give it everything.
Oh, and Judge goes off again. That Porsche is really a handful tonight.
Nick Leon currently second, 4/10 of a second off provisional pole. Provisional pole sitter. I was going to say he's sitting in the pits, but he's on his way out of the pits in the Ferrari. Going to look to improve that time. Obviously he's going to have a few challenges out on circuit. Chen, the only man in the pits. Chen, the only man in the pits. 10 cars out on track. Trying to improve with 4 minutes to go.
Nobody doing a Devon tonight in Devon's absence, so nobody wants to start at the back. It's purely Devon.
Well, actually, the qualifying session in terms of time, Devon doesn't make a difference if he's here or not.
True that.
He just sits at the bottom there and
he sits in the pits and wait.
Does lap times that are like 13 seconds off the pace, and it's like, oh yeah, no, clearly he's trying.
He's drinking his tap water coffee while he waits for the race to start.
De Varnis.
Yeah, De Varnis.
Still need to get him to change his PSN name. That's going to be really difficult because I haven't even convinced him to get online. You always have to invite him and go all the way to the bottom of the fence. Gavin currently
Sebastian going off as well. He stopped. He's back in the pits.
So Bentley 6th and 7th. Wonder if the track just not suiting them. 1.7 and 1.9 seconds off the pace.
De Varnis, weet jy self wat jou naam is?
He is going down that straight, obviously trying to improve on that time, currently 4/10 of a second off. Ooh, he's run wide. You know, that long straight, that right-hander, it's a little bit different when you know, you've got the straight is split in two, but it's not split like right in the middle. The first section of the straight is slightly longer than the second one. Then you get on that second straight and you've got that right-hander that you do full throttle. But now, when you full throttle that entire straight, when you approach that corner, you're going incredibly quick in a GT3 car. Wouldn't do it at full throttle.
Broom, broom, broom. Nick Leon coming down now, and nope, still no change in front. Still stays second.
Sebastian and the Aston
pretty much one lap.
Still in third place, 1.2 seconds adrift from provisional pole.
Sebastian with from Black Moombas. Of course, custom liveries, custom team names as well. 2 drivers per team. Not Sebastian lost his teammate like pretty early in the season because of a safety rating. They couldn't get their safety rating high enough to be able to join the server. So since then, Not Sebastian's pretty much racing by his lonesome.
So yeah, 8 cars out on circuit. 3 in the pits. They won't be able to improve on their time. Just 1 minute remaining in qualifying. So see who's here at the front.
Judge managed to improve on his time with like 2 seconds, just not able to improve on the position.
Definitely an improvement there at the end. Hopefully that's good signs going into the race. Maybe just finding something at the end there. Leon went for it again and again at that.
Oh, that's it.
At that corner after the straight, just that's the end of that. So
I won't be surprised if Wesley's going to come in because his main challenger couldn't improve.
Not Sebastian, still out on circuit. 1.2 seconds adrift. Kuda, fourth. 1.4 seconds adrift. Next challenger, Gavin. Goes over the line now. Does not improve. I think he can set another lap. 10 in the pits.
Walnut Canoe is done. He stays in 9th. Goes 80 in 10th and Judge in 11th already in the pits.
The last chance here is really 3rd and 4th. Not Sebastian and Kuda. Can they find time?
Kuda slowly but surely actually improved on his time. At one stage he couldn't post a lap time, and then slowly but surely actually found time. So using the time to his advantage, and time increase, and now only almost just under 1.5 behind. But can he actually get some magic on this lap and do something and challenge for that pole position?
Sebastian won't be improving. He comes into the pits. So the last challengers here would be Kuda.
Was Wesley also now in the pits?
Evan's still out there. I'm not sure if he just got over the line to start a...
Yeah, looks like he did.
Because when I looked at it, it had already passed, but he might have just sneaked over the line.
That's the only two cars out on track, as you can see, they're on that track map as well.
Currently quite far adrift, 1.7 seconds, but if he can find a 10th or 2, he can move him up into 5th. Maybe even just get up a row on the starting grid.
Kuda coming through now.
What can Kuda do? Currently 1.4.
And he goes first. Kuda goes first.
Does improve. Found 4/10 at the end there, and unfortunately I am.
Same year.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to
just reboot quickly, redo all of this, guys. Sorry, it's just one thing that still need to be fine combed. Of course, we still have that problem going from one session into another where you get stuck on a car. Just waiting for Jamin to come back in, then I can redo this, and we'll just restart the stream as well. Right, welcome back everybody, just in time as the race started. The co-commentator still has some issues with info, so he's just gonna have to reboot quickly again. Looks like a car 2 went a bit wide at the back, not sure. Oh yeah, there we go. Couple of guys here, yeah, not Sebastian right at the back, so he missed his braking spot by the looks of it, and there was a car stationary as well there. Not able to see that, it's a yellow flag. Not sure who it is. Doesn't give you, there we go, Nick Leon is the guy. But he's standing still, he's not even moving again. Not sure if that means the end of his race. Wesley, of course, leading, started in pole. Coming down this long back straight now. Oh my word, pickle me this, pickle me that, I'm a cucumber. How about cucumber sandwiches and a cup of tea? How'd you say, Mr. Pickle?
Mr. Pickle.
Mr. Pickle himself.
When is when is Mr. Pickle gonna get his safety rating sorted?
Yeah, Mr. Pickle, that's a good question.
So he can start racing.
Come, Mr. Pickle, you need to work on that so you can show these guys how it's done. Right, so a lot better already on the display tonight, but yo, kudos Racy all of a sudden, he's right in the back wheel of Wesley. Chen in third place but 2.2 seconds off. So Kuda taking the fight to Wesley, but Chen has got Nismax on his back end. And Gafbig also there in the mix basically. Chen running slightly wide, but even Walnut, Canoe, AD and Springbok Gamer, these guys are very close together. The judge currently in 10th, of course, Nick Leon running away at the back. Trying to make up some time. He is moving at least. Not sure exactly what happened there at the start.
Okay, and I have visuals.
Oh, there we go. Kudas now really trying to make a move here. Audi against Ferrari. Okay, Pico almost there. Pico just saying he's working on that safety rating. He's at least up to 59. I think you need to be 50. I think you need to be 50 to join.
What he needs to do, he needs to get in a lobby.
A multiplayer lobby, that's it.
Even get in a lobby with his brother, and just follow each other around the track without bumping each other, pass each other here and there, and you'll get that thing up in no time.
And Bob's your uncle. So I hope you listen there, Pico.
Have a few practice sessions, just you and your brother driving behind each other, following each other around the circuit as closely as you can without making contact, and you'll get your safety rating up.
Do a few passes but without contact.
Yeah.
And that's as easy as it is.
Just do a bit of that, and it's much better than trying to
play offline.
Get it in random lobbies where people are going to bump you or
because otherwise you play offline, because offline also counts. But the quickest is like Jonathan just said now. So some advice for you, Pickle. Will help you and brother.
That already, so I must get that safety rating up, and you can get them on circuit and get them racing.
Good, I made a mistake. He dropped off now seriously there from Wesley. Gap is more than 1.5.
Gap 1.7 seconds now. It was 0.2 of a second at a stage there. I think
Chen not able to hold on, and at the same time he must also fight Nismax. And Gapik is also ready to pounce if there's an error.
With that Gavin not far behind. Chen gonna come under a lot of pressure now.
Those Bentleys are like two bulldogs, ready to pounce on that hay in front of him. And finally, 80 and Walnut in Springbok Game is still not far off these two either.
Now Gavin getting close to the other Bentley. Almost looked like he was thinking of a pass. Was half lined up. And again, it's getting really close. Wonder how long
Chen running wide.
Chen can hold on, and as I say that, runs wide there on the exit
that
of the final
Nismax
corner.
a better drive out of the corner, but will it be enough? Nismax just sneaking on the inside, but it's not going to be enough. Not this time around, at least.
Well, I don't know. You know, we've had a couple of F1 races now at this circuit, and do you know where the most passes are made in the F1 race? That corner doesn't exist on this track.
That chicane.
Most of the passes are made at the chicane, so I don't know, what's the best place to pass? I'm sure you can get a crazy amount of slipstream, but you want to go side by side into that right-hander.
Kura is actually in the lead. We haven't seen that, but Kura is in the lead. Wesley is 1.3 seconds behind Kura.
Obviously there was some sort of a off-track moment there or something, or a big mistake. But 1.3 seconds is the gap. Wesley's going to start working on getting back. He's already doing it 9/10 now, so he's already closed that.
Nesmax trying to look at Chen. Oh, Chen runs wide again. Surely Nesmax this time. Yeah, Nesmax on the inside. But Chen just slightly ahead again, but Nesmax will have a better line. He's running wide again. That's going to actually let Gavin have a look as well. Nesmax is through on the inside. He's going to have inside line and corner now. Chen will. Nesmax falling back again. He's not going to be able to make it count.
Yes, he does.
What can Nesmax do to counter that?
Oh wow, if he's looking in his mirrors, all he's gonna see is the grill of that Bentley. And occasionally he's gonna see a second grill pop out on the side there. Just to let him, there's two of them.
Because these Bentleys both want to get past, because you have a sense, but they feel they can be quicker. They just need to get in front of him.
This is an awesome battle here for third place, involving 3 cars, and then up at the front.
Nesmax look on the outside. But no, it's nothing.
There we go. Has he done it? Has he done it? No, he hasn't. He backs out of it.
Three guys there for third place, 2 guys here for first place. So, good couple of battles up front. But Springbok Gamer also on 80 for 6. And then there's a bit of gaps between the guys. But at the front, at the moment, the battles are real. The judge actually falling further back, and Nick Leon now really catching the judge.
AD and Springbok Gamer, they should rather not race each other right now and just catch up to these 3. Surely they'll be slowing each other down. There's 3 of them, and
Nesmax now with a brilliant drive close. Right in the back.
We go.
It's going to look at the outside.
Right-hander.
Could have the outside line. Oh, it's tricky there. Ooh. Well, now Gavin is going to have a look on the inside. That outside line, he actually lost a place to Gavpeak. But the outside line is always so tricky. But can Gavpeak have the same patience with Chen, or is he just going to stuck it in there?
Ooh, no, Nesmax running wide.
Right, yes.
Getting slightly out of shape there. Just dropped that position while trying to pick up a position. Dropped the position. Went for the outside. It was risky. Really got to get it right, and he just couldn't make it stick, and Gavin made the most of that.
Now fighting here. Gavpeak trying on the outside, but he's going to run wide now, so Nesmax back into 4th.
Really good racing so far. I don't think anyone's spent any time in the pits or anything like that, so
nope.
It's been clean, it's been good.
Nesmax taking to the inside, but no, nothing this time.
One of the great things of France is that you're not going to find a track that's more forgiving.
True that.
If you manage to find something on the side of the circuit to go and hit and damage your car, then
and then Nick Leon is passed. Nick Leon is passed the judge. Bit of a lonely race for these 2, but Nick Leon is in front. Not Sebastian just staying within striking distance from Springbok Game and 80. But the real battle is still here. Nesmax, Gavpeak and Chen. But while doing so, that gap to Wesley in second is still opening up. Here we go, still again 3 in a row. Nobody driving alongside the other this time round.
Gap between Wesley and Kuda 8/10. It's obviously been closer than that. Got really close to the stage and just dropped back a bit.
Huh. And Nesmax is flashing some lights there.
That's maybe a final attempt.
Showing Jenny still there.
Try and get a bit of it. That works better in a night race.
Yeah,
which may
try
be
to put
coming
him off a
soon,
bit. Try to put him off a bit.
That may be coming soon, by the way. Obviously, this patch is, as far as I know, it's fixed the lights problem. So
it's laying the brickwork for night racing.
Kai, alarm me at night.
Oh.
I actually want to be part of that.
Nesmax now gonna try again. Can he make it stick? He's gonna surely have an inside line this time. Whoa. Oh, now Chen makes contact, and as a result runs wide.
Surely that's
but
going
now
to
gives Gaffig also Gaffig inside line.
The inside.
There we go, and both Bentleys are past Chen in a matter of corners. That slight contact sent him wide, and that was the end of that.
Chen didn't give up on that easily. He came back, but there was contact. But hopefully no damage for anyone. That looked fairly light.
And the gap already hovering at a second between Nesmax and Gaffig. Always felt that these guys can potentially pull away, they just need to get past.
As I say, no one's been in the pits for damage. I see Tebs sitting in the pits.
The Tebs managed to join. Can he actually get control of his car? Can he come out? That's the $1 million question.
I see he's talking in the game chat, and I see his car is sitting in the pit lane with a driver in it. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
I think he tried to join because he wasn't originally in this race.
So Kuda leads by 0.3 of a second. So Wesley has come close again.
Gaffig also closed the gap a bit to Nesmax, but Chen also hanging on. So it's still the three of them, just in a different order this time.
See the two Bentleys leading the Ferrari, the other way around. So the biggest manufacturer on circuit
and Gaffig is very racy on Nesmax now.
Biggest manufacturer today is Ferrari, four Ferraris on circuit.
Oh, and Chen runs wide again. At 45 minutes to go, so there's another 10 minutes before we get the pit window open.
Yeah, that's right. Pit window will open with 35 minutes remaining and close with 25 minutes remaining. So you get 10 minutes to pit. Obviously, anyone who's pit now for damage, that will not count. That little orange block there next to everyone's name with the number 1 in it means they still have one mandatory pit stop remaining, and that can only be done during the pit window.
Correct.
And then obviously if you miss the pit window...
Sebastian has passed Springbok Gamer, so he's now chasing after 80.
If you're slightly forgetful and forget about the pit window, then...
Gaffig is past Nesmax. Now Chen is going to have a look at the outside of Nesmax. But Nesmax having none of it. Gaffig is still in front. I know the timing screen shows Nesmax in third, but it's definitely the other way around. Can Nesmax come back at Gaffig? Can't help it but to ask, how clean was that overtake? And my co-commentator will understand why. And no offense to Gaffig.
Gavin up to third now. Will he be able to leave these two behind and start making up some ground on the top two?
At the moment it looks like it. He's got a second opened up.
Come back at it. Maybe he's been trapped a little bit. Maybe he's had a bit of pace, just couldn't get by. We'll see, he's got some clean air now. Maybe he can make the most of it and reel in those two at the top that are still not really engaging with each other, but they're close. So I don't know if they're slowing each other down because they're not really. Wesley hasn't really made any moves, but staying very, very close.
Wonder where's that Wazzy guy now again? He's been quiet ever since. Made a quick comment and then he disappeared.
Wonder if he has returned to the stream. We had 11 viewers and now we've got 6.
So no way is that other guy, the guy with a tap water coffee, he's also MIA all of a sudden. And Wesley's going to have an inside, look on the inside. And Wesley is through, Kuda went slightly wide, he left the door open, and that was enough for Wesley. Wesley back into first place.
That's all he needed to do was just stay really close behind, and you know, he didn't even risk a move. He just stayed close behind until the mistake came, and that continuous pressure, lap after lap. Gets ahead.
There is still here. Okay, Devon.
Has definitely been delving into his cannabis-infused coffee, tap water concoction.
Hello, Oh yeah, is a short slang for which is obviously uncle.
I see
Kuda is not letting Wesley go. He's definitely still fancying opportunity here for first place.
Gap currently at just over 1 second.
And Nesmax close the gap to Gavpeak and pulling Chen through with him.
When Gavin did get by, that gap to the leaders was just over 8 seconds. It's now 7.3.
Yes.
So they are making a little bit of headway on those leaders. They want to catch them a little bit more before that round of pit stop.
Bastian got past 80 as well. We didn't see that. So not Sebastian. Slowly but surely clawing his way back.
The window is going to open in just over 6 minutes. Then we may see a bit of a shuffle. All these cars that are awfully close on track might come out in different positions after their pit stops.
Yes.
Who's going to undercut who, and who's going to make the most of their pit stop. And then obviously you can start on different amounts of fuel. You decide how much fuel you want to start with. So somebody who's been running a lot of fuel could have a much shorter pit stop than somebody who's been running lighter. So
Walnut Canoe running a very lowly 9th.
Who's done what with their strategy?
Must say, all three were the last three guys, Walnut, Nick Leon and Vijay, they're all having pretty much lonely races, no cars, no traffic in sight, and good distance between each other. Springbok Gamer close to 80 again. Can he make a move this time? Can he line out the pass? Not Sebastian took out a few tenths out of Chen now again. Westmax a second behind Gavpeak, so Gavpeak now really getting away. Gap to Kudos now 6.8, yes. That's shrinking.
6.8, so he is closing up on second place, so tyres should still be in good condition if he's after all this time and in that battle with the two other cars. Seems like he's going quicker than he's gone in the race before, so everything still seems confident. And then gap starting to form between him and Nismax, and then as well a gap forming between Nismax and Chet. So these three cars that were together for such a long time, they're starting to split
spread
apart.
out a bit, yeah.
I hope the pit stops comes just in time and puts them all back together. Put Chen back in front of those two cars.
Imagine that.
But it's also that gap.
It's also stopping at the right moment in that box, because stopping in the wrong part of that box and it's going to be tickets for you. And we saw that with Nismax, of course, in the very first race.
Wesley managed to open that gap to just over a second, and now that gap is down to half a second. So Kuda not giving up on this just yet, not relying on the pit stops, wants to do it on track. Wants track position, getting really close now. Really on the gearbox of that Ferrari. Down the main straight, will he think about it?
Will he have a look? coming out a bit, but fought the better of it.
I think it was just wanted to position himself in case the mistake came, but then thought better of it.
So we got 3 minutes to go before pit window opens.
What he wants to do is really just get as close to that Ferrari as he can, going onto that straight, and then just try and get the superior traction. Get superior traction down that straight, and you'll have him by that turn. That straight's over. I think that straight is 1.3.
Ooh, drive-through for track limits. That is Chen. Car number 21. Drive-through.
Oh no. Chen getting a drive-through. Obviously now that is separate from his pit stop.
Correct. And that will release the 2 Bentleys.
That will release the 2 Bentleys. That will promote.
So there's going to be distance between him and them, so it's going to be difficult to get back into third now.
From the timing screens, that'll promote Sebastian, Springbok Gamer, AD,
and will not do
and even
possible,
bring Nick Leon a challenger, because he's had a bit of a lonely one.
I think you would love to have someone to challenge at the moment.
Okay,
oh, and Wesley also with a drive-through.
Gap just went up to 1.1 seconds. We saw it go down to half a second.
But it's going to mean nothing. It's going to mean nothing. Drive-through.
I wonder if that sudden change up to 1.1 seconds was the cut in the track. I don't know.
Quite possible. Very possible. Because the gap jumped, and all of a sudden there was that DT that came up.
If you look at the top 8, the guys are really not that far apart, so a drive down pit lane is going to cost you serious track position.
It's going to really cost them dearly.
Put you at the back of this field, and from what we've seen, it's not the easiest track to pass on.
Nope.
Chen now comes into the pits. He's doing his drive-through. He's doing his drive-through. Springbok Gamer goes through. AD now goes through. Hasn't reflected on my time. There we go. Canoe coming down the straight. Where is Chen? He's coming out of the pits. And Canoe does get by.
Yep.
So 10 down to 7th with that drive-through. He served that drive-through, and your pit window should open in about 40 seconds. So
25 seconds now. Gonna have to stop again.
And then what will Wesley do? He's also got that drive-through sitting over his name.
There's no point waiting for the pit window, because he's going to have to stop twice. The drive-through and the actual pit.
Now I wonder what's going to happen if... Ooh, he spun. Wesley has spun out.
Oh. Pit window is opening. And there we go, confirmation, pit window open.
Just spinning there in sector 3, that awfully long right-hander. Oh, he's going to be frustrated.
Things falling apart for him now. That puts Kuda into the lead again.
Taking the lead of the race. Gavin now just 4.6 seconds adrift of Kuda, so he continues to close that gap.
Who's going to pit first? Kuda is going to come in. Kuda's coming in.
I think this race has...
Gapik is staying out.
I think this race has just swung the way of Audi.
So is Nismax.
In the biggest possible way. Where is Wesley? Wesley comes
not
into
Sebastian
the pits.
coming into the pits.
Wesley comes into the pits. Now this is going to be interesting. Is he going to pit, or is he going to drive straight through? And then come pit again the next lap?
He's in the pits.
Yeah, he's here. Okay, he's into the pits. He's turning in. Or is he? No.
Didn't look like a stop to me.
There we go.
Oh, here we go. It's just a very long pit straight. Still, he's on his way out. Did he stop?
Really, it looked like he was...
okay, no, it was just a drive-through. Sorry, he didn't need to stop. The drive-through first. So he's going to stop again, obviously, for the actual stop.
So, pit window, just over 8.5 minutes remaining, and you see that's something they've added. Tells you how much longer in the pit window. 8.5 minutes. Got a little timer there. We'll see once if
That
that is
was,
zero and
that was there with a previous view, it was not that clear though.
Kuda, the only man to have done his mandatory stop so far, he's in 6th. Wesley still out on circuit, he's
looking very good for Kuda at the moment.
Another one that's in a very strong position, don't forget, is the man that's currently in the lead.
Yeah, Gappy.
He hasn't made his pit stop yet, but he's going faster now than he was going in the beginning of the race. Was catching Kuda, brought that gap down from 8 seconds down to 4 seconds. So yeah, if he carries on putting in the quick laps and does his pit stop, when he comes out, he could be a lot closer than 4 seconds.
Is pit. Oh, drive through for speeding the pit lane for car 353. That's Walnut Canoe.
So he's going to get a drive through. He's going to have to
Nesmax
come
also in the
back
pit.
into the pits.
Both Bentleys in. And so is the judge.
All going to be about this pit stop. Are they going to land in their pit box straight the first time? Is it going to be a quick stop? It needs to be.
These two are racing each other. Kuda is also in the mix. They're going to need to do something special to make sure they have an opportunity to jump Kuda.
See, when he went into the pits, he was in the lead of this race. Should come out in the lead unless Gavin was able to pull off something amazing. Really comes down to just having a bad stop, and you know, this isn't, the pit stops in this aren't as close as they are in F1. You know, everyone has more or less that 2 or 3 second stop, and off you go.
And there's
a lot of things that can change the length of that pit stop.
Wesley still to pit. He's in second at the moment, but he's still to pit.
He's still out there. I hope he knows that drop through does not count. 80, he's in the pits. Wesley out on track, Springbok Gamer out on track, both still to do their stop.
Springbok Gamer, Wesley, so Gappik has got the lead pretty much. Oh no, there we go. Now it's updating. Kuda is ahead of Gappik.
He's ahead of Gappik. We don't have, I don't have seconds there for you yet, but when they go over the next sector line, here we go. Ooh.
11 seconds.
I'm not gonna say that. Oh, I wasn't gonna say it yet. I just wanted to see if it would update, because that looks a bit
dodgy.
Wow. Kuda made a lot of time.
A lot of ground.
He basically took 7.5 seconds out of Gavin in the pit stops. So, but yeah, just bear with us, and that time may adjust, because that looks very weird to me. Didn't look like a bad stop.
Well, if you look at the position on the map, it's possible.
Yeah, there we go, 12.2. It's actually increasing slightly. So there we go, there we have Wesley, he's coming into the pits. Springbok Gamer still out on track. Track reaches halfway. Race reaches halfway distance. So does the pit window. Another 5 minutes.
Only Springbok Gamer as Wesley is in.
Wesley is in the pits. He's stationary as we speak. Springbok Gamer leads this race for the time being for Lexus. Still needs to do that stop. Obviously, if you do not do your mandatory pit stop at the end of the race, you basically get
a penalty.
I think it's the guy. Yeah, you get a penalty, but the penalty is based on whoever spent the most time in the pits.
Yeah, correct.
So if somebody had a disastrous pit stop that lasted a minute, you're going to get that 1 minute as a penalty. So
not the lucky thing that you want.
Or is he just commenting there? Great racing between the two Bentleys and the Ferrari. Chen, Gavin and Nismax. Was great racing. I was actually hoping that these three would meet each other again after the pit stop.
Sebastian's in front of Wesley. He just came through as Wesley came out. Oh, an 80 now with a drive-through penalty.
That was obviously on the exit. On the exit, was that for track limits or was that
Correct.
on the exit of the pit lane?
Track limits.
Track limits, so he's going to have to come into the pits again, and race was looking pretty strong. He'll be disappointed with that. That's going to allow a few guys to get past. Springbok Gamer finally into the pits.
Oh, and Nick Leon also now with a drive-through. Track limits.
Springbok Gamer driving down the pit lane. He is the current leader, I believe. Kuda will obviously retake the position.
Yeah, he's coming around the final corner now.
Springbok Gamer now stationary. So as he parks, Kuda drives over the start finish line to reclaim the lead of this race. Where is Gavin? Let's just get a sense for
Gappy coming around the final corner now.
Here we go. He comes over the line now.
Chosen his max.
Let's just see that gap. 13.3 seconds, so it's climbing.
Springbok Gamer still stationary.
Sort of a reverse effect of what happened before the pit stops, where Gavin was just catching him. And I'm still waiting for my timing screens to update. So telling me Springbok Gamer is in the lead. Now,
oh, drive through for track limits, another one for AD.
AD getting. So has he served the first one?
Nope, not yet.
So that means that will just
That's
cancel.
two drive-throughs.
That'll clear the one, and then he has to do another. Obviously, so now Nick Leon also having that drive-through.
Okay, there we go. But gap now 13, not for 26 as shown earlier, so it's only 13 seconds between Gap Peak and Kuda.
I'm not sure what happened there. Has Nick Leon retired? I saw him driving into the pits to do his drive-through, and then the car disappeared and reappeared stationary in front of his pit garage.
Not doing a drive-through, it's stationary.
Just sitting there. I wonder if he has abandoned this race. His debut was a lot more fun, I'm sure. He won on debut a week ago, and today things just
went pear shape for him.
Going all sorts of wrong. Kuda leads the race by 13.5 seconds, found himself in second for most of this race, chasing down Wesley, who's now having a very different race. He's in 7th, and
bit of an unusual place to be.
He'll be challenging not Sebastian shortly. 6/10 of a second there, the gap. Kevin, 13.5 seconds. At least the gap's not growing as it was. Needs to stabilize it and start reversing that effect. Obviously now in the final stint of the race, 25 minutes to go.
Punt window over, there we go. But everybody has pitted. Oh, track limits, another drive through for 80.
Oh, wow.
Unless it's actually, it can be because he's crossing and not going into the pits, it can be just a reminder as well.
No, I'd be worried if I had like a queue of 3 drive-throughs. And I hadn't set the first one yet. No, I'd be very despondent. So obviously those Ferraris are imitating life a little bit too much. I don't like seeing a whole cluster of Ferraris towards the bottom of the field. At the moment, Audi leads, and we have a Bentley 2 and 3, 13.2 seconds a gap, so Gavin finds 3/10 of a second.
I think this is 3 laps, Devon, so then he might actually have a disqualification or penalty. Devon just reminding us that you have 3 laps to serve your drive-through.
I'm sure that the driver gets some sort of Can you confirm that? Maybe we're not seeing it from spectator mode, but I'm sure the driver gets some sort of, in F1 it does it. It tells you 2 laps to go, or 1 more lap to go, or whatever, that you have to go and serve this thing. So I wonder if he thinks he can just serve it whenever. Because if that's the case, then you get disqualified or get another penalty?
Good question. Because from F1 side, if you don't serve it within 3 laps, you get disqualified.
It'll be interesting to see what he does. AD, there he is in the Ferrari, still going around. Where is he?
Devin just confirming the driver does get a notification.
Okay, so he's going around the final corner now. Will he dive into the pits?
Yes, he is.
There we go, he dives into the pits. So he's not going to test fate. Maybe he's listening to the stream. And just 6 people watching. I want to know where's the other 5.
Where's that Wazzy character?
Stream. Was he here? He's here. I saw him.
Yeah, every now and then. Not active.
Every now and then he yeah, no, he's
pickle me this, pickle me that. Now it's all quiet.
He's probably got the phone in one hand and
he served it. Okay, there we go.
A Wazzy lager in the other hand. So doesn't have any extra fingers to start with.
Oh well, when Wazzy drinks Castle, he finds his inspiration.
And when Devin drinks coffee, he talks rubbish.
It's coffee made from tap water.
Yeah, tap water. Not in the kettle, and I'm not talking about the warm.
He's using the cold water tap.
He wants the cold water tap. He thinks the coffee's supposed to float on top. Ugh.
Nesmax have took out some time from Gathpeak. Wesley ahead of not Sebastian. A few moments ago it was the other way around. Devin is that the always ultra, the one with the wings.
What is that? So to the 14.8 seconds, the gap is getting bigger. Is Gavin dropping back? I think Gavin is the one that's dropping back because Nismak's closing the gap now, yes. 1.7 seconds.
And the gap in front to Kuda is actually opening up. And not sure if you noticed, we are down to 10 cars, so Nick Leon has officially left.
So he wasn't happy with running at the back of the field and still having another drive-through over his head. Probably knew he was going to come back in last, and that just didn't really motivate him to carry on with proceedings.
Devin, I see walking the thin line again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's already past curfew. I mean, the moment this race is over,
bang,
done.
Dive over bed or risk having a broomstick against your forehead.
Phone needs to get handed in and off to bed. Kuda 14.3 seconds.
Maybe we must phone Mrs. Devon and give her some tips.
This max 1.9, so Gavin just getting away a little bit again. As I say that, this max running a little bit wide. Don't really want to be driving over that blue stuff.
Gavin just now holding his ground.
You know, those strips are designed to actually slow the car down.
Mm.
And they also damage your tires.
True that.
Especially if you get all the way onto the red ones. There's obviously a texture to them, and they're supposed to slow you down. The blue ones are a lot lighter than the red ones. The red ones, if you go that far off, you can seriously damage your tires. Especially in F1, you know, where the tires are so sensitive. So it is forgiving. There's no gravel to be worried about. There's no wall to be worried about. But can definitely damage your tires. Not supposed to be out there. .8 seconds the gap between the two Bentleys. 15 seconds the gap for the lead. And we've got Springbok Gamer he's doing a great job. He's had his mandatory stop. He's up into 4th place. He's got Wesley behind him, guy who led this race previously. And then a whole smattering of misfortune happening within, what, 2 laps? and it's changing the whole outlook of the race. I mean,
Nesmac gaining on Gapik again.
Got the drive-through, then before serving the drive-through, had a spin, which allowed Kuda to get through before the penalty even happened. So just a lot of bad luck. But he'll be interested in getting 4th place. It's 1.6 seconds adrift of the Lexus. There we go. As I say that, he runs wide. So he is pushing. He's giving everything. Okay, but just doing a good job. There's Max 3rd. Getting close to that other Bentley. Obviously just the 2 Bentleys out on circuit, and they've been pretty much within the same frame throughout the race. Just film the one and you'll see the other. Been together the entire, even before the pit stops, after the pit stops, can't separate these two.
Gapik clearly not as fast as he was before the pit stops, losing from Kuda, and actually still losing time to to Nesmac, and Nesmac's now as close as ever.
I'd really love to know what it is. You know, you come out on a fresh set of tyres, the car should be lighter than it was at the beginning of the race. So
Daniel's different by the looks of it.
It should get faster. It should feel great, yes. But I don't know. Some guys look faster in their second stint, and some guys look faster in their first. And remember Gavin, when he got past those, when he got out of that 3-way battle, he actually cleared them. He just cleared. He was quick, and now really struggling to hold on to that second place, coming on under severe pressure. That's going to allow Kuda to run off into the distance. Seven people watching there on the stream, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're the 7th person, who are you? Who just joined? Is it Nick Leon? Did you just join the stream? So comment, let us know what happened. See, somebody just joined the stream. Let us know who you are, let us know you're here. Kuda leads. There's Max, 0.2 of a second. 1 second place. Doesn't want to be beaten by Gavin, and most certainly doesn't want to be beaten by the only other Bentley on track.
Nope.
So he's going to give it everything. It's been great racing between these two. Look at Chen, gap. Ooh, as I say that, commentator's curse was really, really close to, not Sebastian. And as I got the camera on him, he just ran violently wide and lost about 3 or 4 tenths. Obviously Kuda running away at the front, so we're going to stay with, well, I'm going to stay with Gavin and Nismax. That's your closest battle on track at the moment. Nismax just dropping back slightly, he got really close, but down 0.6 of a second. Wonder if there's some conserving of fuel or just cooling down. Maybe not the car, just cooling down your head a little bit and then having a go again. 0.8 of a second. So Gavin just getting away slightly. Wonder if he can find that groove he was in before the pit stops. 14 minutes remain. 15 seconds is the gap. I think that's too big to close. But needs to get away from that second Bentley.
Just looking at the back. Not Sebastian with a bit of a quiet one now.
He's in 6th place. He's 13 seconds adrift of Springbok Gamer. So he's gonna have to find a second lap. Bema has been passed by Wesley, so he's gone down to 5th place. Wesley back into 4. He's not going to make. I don't think he's going to make the top 3. Basically, what separates Wesley from the 2 Bentleys is the entire pit straight. So yeah, looking at the map there, I like this that it makes the car you're following red. You can see exactly where the person is in comparison to
other games.
15 seconds, still the gap at the front. So Kuda not really pulling away anymore. I wonder if he's just pulled himself down. Used to obviously won't be doing any favors to closing that gap because they were at each other's throats for a while. Like Nesmax is just going to sit back for a while. 12.5 minutes to go. This will be the final sprint race. Whoever the 7th viewer was, I scared them away. I said, comment something, let us know you're here, and then they left.
What else?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Are you really?
It's sort of like when everybody talks absolute rubbish on the social chat for an entire week, and then you ask a question, and nobody speaks on the social chat for the entire morning, and you're like, what? This max 8/10. Gap just stable between the 2 of them. Ooh, 1.7 seconds. What happened there? So Gavin is getting away. That gap increasing. And then 14.6 seconds to Kuda. So he did find 4/10. But like I say, just 10 minutes remaining. And Kuda would have to make a serious mistake or get a drive-through. We've seen a few of those today. We've seen more drive-throughs. I think this is the most drive-throughs we've seen since round 1.
True that, because round 1 was the most, but yeah, tonight was a lot more.
Yeah, round one was ridiculous because I think guys were getting caught out a lot on speeding on the pit lane, but on the way out of the pit lane, not on the entry to the pit lane. So it kept on happening. I think Gavin got 3. But so but I think when we got to round 2 we didn't even see one. So it has made a return here in France. Obviously a bit of a complicated pit entry and exit to come out onto the racing line. And the track may be forgiving. There's not a lot of gravel traps and walls, but they want you to stay within those track limits.
Oh yes, and a couple of guys fell it for hard way tonight.
Basically a track like this without track limits, if you could do whatever the heck you wanted, oh yeah, there's so much you could do here. So they have to be a lot stricter when there's nothing to really put the driver off from going wide. You know, if there's a gravel trap there or a patch of grass, you don't want to go wide, you don't want to get your tires on that. But if there's just more tar, you're always going to be tempted. So you have to be really strict with those. We've lost another driver, have we? I see there's just 9 drivers on.
There we go. Only 9 left.
Only 9. I'm trying to see who we've lost. Wesley, the man who led the race.
Yep.
Seems like the guys that are at the front and then not at the front, they don't like it very much.
Yeah, because they're used to the front, they don't want to do it the back.
It's a bit disappointing. Just I wonder if he had a ESCOM related issue or a disconnect of some sort, or if he decided to leave, because just 9 minutes remaining. After an endurance race, if there's just 9 minutes remaining, you might as well go on.
That's it.
Get the points for the round and close the chapter on France and move on. Obviously, next round, heading to
Joburg.
I can't believe we're saying this in a commentary session.
Heading to
South Africa. Heading to actually there's no international drivers here, so it's everyone's home track, but specifically that has to be not Sebastian's home track.
I was just about to say not Sebastian.
Because that has to, he literally, yeah, he comes out of his complex and it's there. The track is right there. So, surely, and I'm done a lot of practice around Kyle Army on this game, and even on the PC. So I think he's going to be very familiar with the circuit. I'm sure everyone's done a lot of laps of Kyle Army. It's quite a new thing to have a second track on a sim. So it'll be interesting to see how well prepared the guys are. There's obviously that Kyle Army 3-hour event that we did when the game came out.
Yep.
The guys will have knowledge of the track. I think we might actually see a close one in Kyle Army. See, nothing ridiculous like a 3-hour race. It'll just be a 1-hour endurance. Luda leads, gap grows to 16.6 seconds. Gap between Gavin and Nizmax back down 0.8 of a second. We've got Springbok Gamer in 4th. So he's reclaimed that Foss. He's reclaimed that 4th. And why do I keep saying Foss?
Foss who?
Yeah.
Foss who?
I have no idea. It's because he's not here. Does anyone know why Foss? Foss, are you in the? I doubt he's watching.
I doubt it.
But if anybody can tell me in the comment section, is Foss not able to join because of a ESCOM related issue, or is Foss?
It looks like ESCOM.
Not able to join because of a.
It looked like ESCOM earlier.
So
he wasn't even online.
Everyone around the country being affected by
load shedding.
By ESCOM, and if you're lucky to have the power off at home when you're not at home during the day, then great. But if you get home from a hard day's work and that's when it decides to switch off, well, sorry for you. But unfortunately,
worst possible time.
It doesn't last long.
Nope.
Yeah. I think it rained and the coal got wet. Again.
The coal got wet. Yeah. Because they don't know about the building carports for it.
No. Don't be ridiculous.
You see, it gets wet in the rain. If I can put a roof over it. It is wet.
This Max now really close. Really close to Gavin. Leaving it for the last 5 minutes of the race. Is he going to finally get by and claim that second place? He obviously did lead between the two of them earlier on in the race. It was Chen followed by Nizmax followed by Gavin.
Speaking of which, he's very racy with not Sebastian at the moment. Wanting 5th place back.
Very racy. I've actually got a bit of a problem there with the time next to Chen's name. It's been paused for a few laps on 0,007, and I don't think that's correct. Because that's 7,000ths of a second, and he'd be millimeters from the Sebastian's bumper. So yeah, I don't think that's correct.
Because Nizmax ever so close to gap peak.
0.2 of a second in it. He thought about it there. The end of the long straight heading into the right hander, wanted to be as close as he could in case Gavin ran wide.
Looking on the inside,
thought about it.
This time.
Last thing you want is contact between the two Bentleys. So he thought about it and then just thought, no, don't think that's a good idea. Still got a few laps to go, obviously. We have done 27 laps so far, 4 minutes remain.
Nizmax will have another attempt if he can.
As they go down the main straight now. Getting into this awkward turn 1 that shares its racing line with the pit exit. Still something that makes no sense to me. Was that someone spun around? Yeah, that was someone spun.
Jane is actually ahead of not Sebastian. Timing she didn't pick it up.
I think that was that not Sebastian that spun around?
Possible.
I actually just watched Gavin and Nismax going around, and I saw a car like in the forefront on the side of the track facing the wrong way.
Well, there we go. We should update Jen now. He definitely ahead of not Sebastian.
And Sebastian heads into the pits.
Some damage possibly.
Just 2 minutes remaining. Scooter leads from Gavin, 17 seconds. Nismax in third, still looking to get second place.
Yeah, he's stopping.
Wait and see what Sebastian does. Does he bring the car to a stop? Or yeah, he does. There we go. Obviously, just maybe, I don't know. Do you get points for fastest lap in this league?
I don't think so.
Maybe just a fresh set of tyres and have a go in the final minute? I don't know. Not feel that bad he couldn't do another 2 or 3 laps. Must have been bad because he did come into the pits and that's going to cost him time. Maybe he looked at that gap behind him and thought, I have enough time. 32 seconds, almost 33 seconds was the gap. But AD has gone past. Sebastian demoted down to 7th place. Sebastian now gonna find himself in a bit of an awkward position. Gonna be ahead of these 2 Bentleys that are still very much racing for position. Just half a second between the 2 of them. Still fighting it out for second and third. But Sebastian tried to get out of the way there on the straight. He went off the racing line, but well, I suppose if he can stay ahead and not interact, then there's no reason for him to slow down and let them go.
Just 17 seconds to go. I think that's pretty much it.
So the leader's gonna start a lap.
Leader has finished already.
There we go.
Leader finished.
That's that.
So Kuda won.
Kuda wins the race. I think that was just
last corner.
Perfect timing.
Who's gonna take it? And Gapik is just in front.
Just manages to do it. Gavin beats Nismatch by 0.08 of a second over the line.
Springbok Gamer coming through now.
Great racing between the 2 Bentleys. Stay Springbok Gamer around the final corner. Gives it a bit of a weave, bit of a celebration. Judge over the line, he will be classified as 9th. He'll pick up a couple of points. Sebastian 8th. Walnut 7th. We're just waiting for AD. AD will be the final driver to classify. He's driving awfully slowly, but he hasn't classified yet. So he's just going down that back straight, going around that incredibly fast right-hander. Wonder if he's having a fuel issue.
Oh, Walnut, the new now stopping. And he's in the pits.
I wonder if AD is having some sort of a fuel issue because he's just cruising around, but his race isn't finished. Looks like he's on his slowdown lap, but oh, there's no checkered flag next to his name, so I think he's out of fuel.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, it's actually getting slower. I've seen it happen before in a previous round where somebody ran out of fuel on the final lap. Is he gonna make it? Where is he? He's got 2 corners to go, and that car's just rolling forward at this stage. Oh, if this was classic F1, Nigel Mansell would say get out and push it.
Who will ever forget that?
We'll never forget that he passed out doing it.
Yeah, well, times were different then.
They weren't as fit as they are today.
No, true that.
He's just going. Is he gonna make it? I think
He's literally in the last corner. Now he's going to cut for the last corner.
It would be funny if he got a penalty for cutting the corner, and it's like, really? You think I made up time?
Imagine now stopping out here.
Oh no, what's that? Is that a bit of lag, or is he slowing down?
He's really struggling to get it back.
Oh, I'm loving this. You know, we've had epic battles throughout the race, and now we. Oh no, look at that.
Now, nice stationary. There's no moving
Oh
further.
no, look
He's
at that.
out of fuel.
He's done.
He's out of fuel.
He's done.
There we go.
Trying to get around the final corner of the lap, and that's exactly where the car stops. And there we go. Very
So,
nicely done. Unfortunately, the results have disappeared.
well, Kuda taking it from Gaffy, taking it from Nismax. So, a couple of guys, Nismax and Gaffy, really going wheel to wheel with each other tonight.
So, that doesn't classify as a finish.
No,
I don't
my
know.
would no, because he didn't reach a finish line.
Because there's guys that finished behind him or classified behind him, but
And they finished.
He didn't finish his race. So I don't know what happens there. I don't know. Does he get any points? Does he finish last? I don't know. That's up for
That's up to the
Devon
admin
and them
guys.
to tell
The
me,
point
because
guys, yes.
I don't know. I don't know too much about the rules. That was France. What a
that
great
was
race,
France.
especially between the 2 Bentleys. That was awesome.
Of course, don't miss out tomorrow night. Double dose of racing this week again. Tomorrow, of course,
And obviously
100% race distance USA Grand Prix tomorrow night.
Don't forget that will be over on the Turbos and Bullets channel. Obviously, this is being broadcast on the Midweek Racing channel, but then
Of course, all on YouTube.
tomorrow we'll be back on the TNB channel. So if you don't follow the Turbos and Bullets channel, give it a follow. Join us tomorrow. If you haven't watched this before, come and see what we're all about. Maybe it will intrigue you to get into an F1 car.
Here we go.
I'll just say my goodbyes from my side, guys. Thank you very much, and should only hear my voice again next week Thursday. I don't think I'm going to do the commentary thing tomorrow. I've had enough of Devon. But maybe I should do the commentary. That was the best race I've had in ages. Anyway, guys, cheers. Enjoy.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Of course, tomorrow night, as we said, F1 racing. Next week, same time, same place, of course, it's Kailami. So some good races coming up in the next week or so. Approaching the halfway stage at this stage, and of course, already in the second half, with TNB in the F1. Of course, all streamed here to YouTube. As always, we appreciate the comments, appreciate the support. You guys stay safe. Till next week. And of course, for those of you watching tomorrow, till tomorrow night. See you guys. Cheers. Well, let's see if we can actually do this quickly.